teleconferencing our village board meeting due to the COVID-19, and we are practicing social distancing. Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, you can, Madam President. Trustee Miller.
Here.
Trustee Jones. Currently absent. Trustee Abraham.
Can you hear me? Can you
Yep.
hear me? All right, yes.
We hear you. Thank you. Trustee Senior.
Yes.
Trustee Senior is absent currently.
No, I'm here.
Oh, good. We have you now. Okay, Trustee Senior is here
Yes.
for the record.
Mhm.
Trustee Tierney
I'm here.
and Trustee Horn.
Here.
Madam President, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Can we
Can we all stay seated? Pardon, Mayor?
Can we all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance if you're near a flag?
Yes, we can.
Pledge allegiance to the
The
flag.
flag, United States,
United States of America,
to the republic
and
for
to
which
the
it
which
republic
stands,
stands
which
one
stands
nation under God,
one nation,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
liberty and justice for all.
indivisible,
for all.
liberty and justice for all. We'll pause for a moment of silence, please. Thank you. Number 2 on the item is public comments. We received none. And just for the record, we posted and let all of the public body know that in order to submit public comments, that would have to do so by sending email to the village clerk's office by 6:00 p.m., at which time I received none, Madam President. So at this time, we will move to item 3, communications. And just so everyone knows, April 1st was Census Day, and we have quite a good response for the self-response of the census in Proviso Township and especially Broadview. We urge everyone to continue to respond that already haven't. You can do so by visiting my2020census.gov. It takes all of 5 minutes, and that 5 minutes will positively affect the next 10 years. All right, moving on to item 4, consideration to approve the following minutes. We have none. Item 5 is consideration to approve expenditures. Grand total of all funds, $558,410.87.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I said
Heard
second.
a motion to approve by Trustee Tierney, seconded by Trustee Senior. Madam President?
Thank you. Trustee Horn,
Yes.
you have any questions?
No.
Wait, hold. Trustee Abraham, can you read the warrant list, please? I'm sorry.
Hello?
Can you read the warrant list?
I don't have that copy in front of me because I got that iPad on. I don't have the hard sheet. Can Trustee Tierney read it, please?
I have to get a copy of it.
Oh,
The bills are not in the conference room where you are?
Nope, the bills are, but not the warrant list.
I have a copy of it.
Would you
Thank
read the warrant list,
I
Trustee?
sure will. Okay. We have Air One, Inc., $2,568.46. AT&T, $21,202.07.
I have a different.
B&F, what's that? B&F Construction Code Services, $27,645.81.
I don't know if this is current.
Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois, $157,396.46. AT&T, $21,202.07.
I have a different.
We have Commonwealth Edison, is $4,524.84.
$645.81. I don't know if this is current.
I don't know if that's current.
Okay, that's $357,000.
$300,568.26.
Is this the right one or no?
Yes, just the right one. You have the right one, John.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna start with Commonwealth Edison, $4,524.84. I have Delgado Group Group Inc., $13,650. Eco Clean Maintenance, $2,504. Geno's Heating and Plumbing, $33,036. Hastings Air Energy Control, $59,207. We have Core and Main LP, $3,035. Home First Realty, $3,500. Lincoln National Life Insurance, $7,861.40. Mid-American Water, $6,852.80. Petroleum Technologies, $2,550. We have Russo's Power Inc.
Core and Main LP, $3,035. Mid-American Water, $6,852.80. Petroleum Technologies,
Treasurer, State of Illinois, $112,580.54. Pretty good. The General Contractors, $5,000. West Cook County Solid Waste is $18,276.83. That's a total of expenditures over 2,500 is $497,468.43. Total expenditures is $558,410.97 for a total of 89%.
5,000.
Okay, and out of those, what came out of those, the accounts? General Fund, $370,194.96. Garbage Fund, $18,276.83. Motor fuel tax, $112,580.54. Roosevelt Road TIF, $632. 17th Avenue TIF, $5,072.06. Capital Projects, $146.25. Water and Sewage, $51,508.33, for a grand total of $558,410.97. Madam President, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee Tierney. Trustee Horn?
No questions.
Trustee Tierney?
No questions.
Trustee Senior?
No question.
Trustee Abraham? Trustee Abraham? Trustee Miller?
No questions.
Trustee Jones?
I have no questions.
Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, you can, Madam President. Trustee Miller,
Yes.
Trustee Jones,
Aye.
Trustee Abraham.
Yes.
Okay, Trustee Senior,
Yes.
Trustee Tierney,
Yes.
Trustee Horn.
Yes.
Madam President, the bills are carried unanimously 6-0. Thank you.
Thank
Next,
you.
we have item 6, committee reports. And we'll start with Street Sidewalks and Alleys, Trustee Senior.
I have no report at this time.
Thank you, Trustee. Next is Finance Committee, Trustee Abraham.
No report. Can you hear me?
Thank you. Thank you,
Yep.
trustee. No report. Next is Business License Committee, trustee Jones.
I have no report. I would like to make a recommendation to the mayor that because of the COVID-19 situation and committees requiring to have that we might consider suspending the committee reports until COVID-19 is up. Other than that, I have no report at this time.
Thank you, trustee Jones.
Thank you. Next is Fire Police and Civil Service, trustee Tierney.
I have no report.
Thank you, trustee. Next, Water, Drainage, and Health, trustee Miller.
I don't have a report specifically, but I just want to remind everybody and all of our viewers that might be watching live to just remember that we are still social distancing and to do your part to stay home, as our yard signs have been popping up to say stay home and save lives. I planned on having a committee meeting before the COVID-19 situation happened to take place with us, but I think this is a perfect time for us to kind of engage and look at things, how we're handling our lives going forward. One of the things that I've been telling my kids and as well as my family members is outside isn't going anywhere, so do your best to just stay inside. That's it.
That's true.
Thank you very much, trustee. Next, we'll have Building and Public Property, trustee Horn.
Good evening, everybody. I don't have a report right now.
Thank you very much. Next item, item 7, old business, we have none. Taking us to item 8, new business. Item A resolution authorizing and approving an intergovernmental agreement with the Department of Healthcare and Family Services for the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
I heard trustee Tierney made the motion, trustee Abraham second. Madam President.
Thank you. This resolution is for our fire department, for the Department of Family Services in the Village of Broadview for reimbursement for Medicaid and eligible private and public EMS services, the GMET. I don't know if Chief Kenny is on the line.
I'm here.
So do you want to elaborate on what this is, Chief
Sure.
Kenny?
Yes, we did approve this last, I'm going to say 4 months ago, but because we're coming into the new fiscal year, we have to reapprove it. So nothing has changed. It's still seeking out the same Medicare reimbursement that hospitals get. We're trying to get for ambulance service as well.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Trustee Horn?
If no one has questions, I'm going to mute myself again.
Okay. Trustee Horn?
No questions, thank you.
Trustee Tierney?
No questions.
Trustee Senior?
No questions.
Trustee Abraham?
None.
Trustee Jones?
No questions.
Trustee Miller?
No.
Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, you can, Madam President. Trustee Miller,
Yes.
trustee Jones,
Yes.
trustee Abraham,
Yes.
trustee Senior,
Yes.
trustee Tierney,
Yes.
trustee Horn.
Yes.
Madam President, this passes unanimously 6-0. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Next item B, an ordinance amending Title 8, Chapter 9 of the Broadview Village Code related to the construction of utility facilities in rights of way in the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
Motion
to approve.
Second.
Second.
I heard trustee Horn make the motion, trustee Tierney second, correct?
Yes.
All right, Madam President.
Thank you. This ordinance is an amendment to our Title 8, Chapter 9 of the Village Code for construction of utility and facilities. Director Ames, are you on the line?
Please unmute yourself, Director.
Okay, I'm
There
sorry.
you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh,
Do you,
yes, sir.
can you tell us what this amendment to the village code is about as it relates to the right of way for the Boeing?
That might be a Commissioner Upshaw question, I believe.
No, this is a utility facility. The right of way is prohibited directional or
Oh,
horizontal.
I'm sorry. Yes. That's in essence preventing outside contractors from coming in and doing directional or horizontal boring underground. The problem that we've had with that in the past is that we've got sewer and water lines that have already been buried. So with exception to those utility companies that already have utility easements agreements in place, we just thought it would be best not to allow anybody else to a directional bore. So trenching is allowed and some other things, and mainly the companies that were trying to come in and directional bore were in essence telecommunicator providers, they're subcontractors, and it's so. Make a long story short, that's what this amendment is addressing. So,
Thank you. Trustee Horn?
So what would happen if outside contractors came in and modified this stuff you're talking about?
when you say modified,
What's the impact to the community, I guess, is my question. Why is it a bad?
ruptured sewer lines, ruptured water mains. So we've had contractors come in and inadvertently bore through a water main. And I know we had an issue just a year ago right here at 25th Avenue in the company's parking lot that became a major headache and probably a $60,000 expense. And fortunately it wasn't, we had to, chase payment, but the village was made whole. But that being said, to prevent those situations in the future, and we did have one or two other minor incidents where directional bores either ran through a homeowner's sewer line or some other infrastructure that we've had buried for the last 100 years. So, and folks are trying to, enhance their telecommunications. I have no problem with it if, in fact, they want to come to the village and propose a cell tower, a small cell tower on a light pole or something to that effect. But there's too many unknowns when you start drilling underground, and we cannot. And in some cases, we only found out about it after the fact that the contractor was long gone. A case in point was we're doing the Braga Drive second phase in Orban Construction. JCL Construction over there had a company come in inadvertently and destroy some of their water service lines. But that's the reason why we asked that the ordinance be amended so that, again, we can just not have to worry about that in the future.
Thank you.
That's it, Trustee Horn?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Trustee Tierney?
I have no questions.
Trustee Senior?
No questions.
Trustee Abraham? Trustee Abraham?
Are you?
No questions.
Trustee Jones?
Yeah, I just want to know, and this is directed to Director Ames, and probably Commissioner Upshaw, if he's on the line. If this is restricted only to the parkways, isn't there any way that we can enhance the ordinance to go beyond that as relates to permitting for construction that's going to require any kind of digging, subterranean construction of any type, even on private property? Because even with that, just the jarring adjacent to our infrastructure in the parkway could cause a rupture to our one of our mains or something. That's just my 2 cents. Either one of you guys can weigh in on it.
Well, the ordinance is village-wide, so it's applicable to homeowner repairs or commercial contractors looking to extend telecommunicators rights. So it's like I said, it's a blanket ordinance that doesn't permit anyone in the village of Broadview to directional bore.
Okay, and that's fair. It's just that the way it was written, it specifically identified the parkways.
And okay, you said identified the parkway, and typically,
Yeah, when go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well,
no, I was just saying when they read the ordinance, it specifically said parkway.
Says the right of way.
The right of
and
way,
we have
right?
control over the parkway,
Yeah,
Trustee Jones. We have control over the public parkways.
I,
And what I would say is what a homeowner decides to do in their yard, typically is not something that we can, we have knowledge of until after the fact, or unless some issue shows up. But if in fact the wording needed to be changed, and this is a question maybe for Jimmy Vaselli, the attorney, and that is if in fact it needs to be something to cover the residential digs, and whether or not we need to even concern ourselves with that. So.
okay, well that's fair. Then I guess the question should be directed to the attorney to ask if in fact the homeowner can be held liable for damage to property in the parkway if they're doing work on their private property. Because I know we have control of the parkways and the throughways and all of that. I get that. My concern is the fact that we do have water mains in the parkway and sewers adjacent to the property. If in fact they do any kind of underground digging, let's say they put an addition onto their house or something, and all of a sudden the water main in front of their house, which is on our property, starts having a problem, can we hold them accountable for that? And that's where I said that maybe it has to do with the permit language in our permits to say, hey, if in fact you do this construction and it has this impact on the village, you're going to be liable for it, to the resident or the property owner, whoever. But I digress. I could talk about this offline with yourself and the attorney later on, but it's just something that I just thought about.
Hey, Jimmy, can you chime in on, before we move on to Trustee Miller? Can you chime in on this conversation?
Of course, Mayor. A couple things. One, obviously the ordinance is directed towards the rights of way. We exercise the most control over the rights of way, and we would ask that it get passed for this purpose to protect the village infrastructure and to avoid us essentially falling into the same problem that's happened in the past, number one. Number two, we can look into an expansion of it, but I would look favorably and would request passage of this ordinance and we can review it further. Number three, Trustee Jones, you raised a good point, and actually I litigated a case like that before where someone didn't call what's called Julie, and their inactivity in calling Julie caused a break of a water line and a suit incurred afterwards. So yes, if someone's act recklessly or negligently, they can be held liable. And that's a common law tort. Or, in certain instances, a court through statute. But that cause of action itself is not set forth in this ordinance. This ordinance is a regulatory one. And it's to avoid someone, with us finding out after the fact, having burrowed through a water main or a sewer or destroyed a tree line where that serves some infrastructure purpose. So that's where we're starting at now. If you want us to look into this further, I'd be more than happy to.
Madam President and Attorney, I just want to say this. I'm not opposed to the ordinance. I just wanted to know if we could enhance it more. I'm all for the ordinance. Just let's make that perfectly clear. There's no objection to the ordinance. I just wanted to make sure that since we were on this subject, that we covered all the bases and we were not short-sighted. That's all.
Yeah, that's fair. And enhancing it, I think that's a good recommendation.
That completes my comment, Mayor. That was it.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Miller?
Yeah, I follow suit in Trustee Jones's request to enhance it, and only because I was thinking about the process that we're sending to residents, or we sent out in regards to the water pipes or the pipelines outside of their initial home, the ones that are outside,
Sewer lines.
you know, the sewer lines. So that would, because like I'm literally looking into that for my home, and I wouldn't know if I'm gonna get, granted they have to come and apply for a permit, but once the work has started already, I wouldn't want to be liable. I would want that company to know that they shouldn't do malicious work,
Right.
which apparently they shouldn't, but if it's still a part of the ordinance, we would also have that in our favor.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you, Trustee Miller. We got that noted as well. Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, you can, Madam President. Trustee Miller,
Yes.
Trustee Jones,
Yeah.
Trustee Abraham,
Yes.
Trustee Senior,
Yes.
Trustee Tierney,
Yes.
Trustee Horn.
Yes.
Madam President, this passes 6-0 unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item, C, an ordinance authorizing and approving the emergency abatement of nuisances for the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
Properly motioned by Trustee Jones, seconded by Trustee Senior. Madam President?
Thank you. This ordinance is authorizing and approving an emergency abatement of nuisance for the village. We've run into several residents who have a great deal of debris in their backyard, and our ordinance don't allow us to enforce the rules in a timely fashion. Commissioner Upshaw, are you on the line? Commissioner Upshaw?
Make sure you're not on mute.
Stand by, Mayor. He's online, but he can't be heard.
You need to take it off of mute.
He's not on mute. He has to make his audio available.
All right, Attorney Vasali, can you chime
Yeah,
in?
I'm on. So we've come into a couple situations, more, and one very recently, but this has happened before, where people are piling debris in their backyard and against, per se, a fence line where it's literally falling into neighbors' yards. There's been vermin. When I say vermin, I mean cockroaches, rats, and other types of animals going in there and causing a problem for neighbors. There is a time delay and there is a time delay in this. And the problem is, before we go through all this, there's days and days and days of rats going through neighbors' yards because your other neighbor won't clean it up, and we have no right to do this. So we wanted to, of course, we'll still cite them. Of course, they're going to get noticed and give them the opportunity to clean it up at first. But we wanted to condense that process only to be used in emergency circumstances, because the person's health should not be put at risk because another person won't take care of their property. It's a police power. It's something that we can do as a non-home rule unit of government. And that's essentially the nature of it. It's just to make sure people stay safe.
If I might add, Mayor, currently we have a nuisance ordinance on the books. And as the attorney said, that we're not able to have immediate impact as it relates to the life, safety, and health of our residents here due to the current situation in COVID-19. So what this does is gives us emergency powers that allows us to allows whoever the resident or the person allows them to remedy it within 2 days, 48 hours. And if not, the village can do that. We can fine them $750. But most importantly, it allows us to protect our residents and those that are in our community at the time within 48 hours. That's it.
Okay. Trustee Horn, you have any questions?
No.
Trustee Tierney,
I have no questions.
trustee Senior,
Yeah, I have a question. Did he mention that it was a fine for this?
You'll still get fined. The person would still be fined under this, just like normal. But
Okay.
it's also, it shortens the time period for us to be able to go on the property and clean up this health risk for neighbors in the community, innocent neighbors.
Okay, and you said that was for like, did you say 2 days?
2 days.
2 days, okay. Okay, no, that was it. That concludes my question.
thank you. Trustee Abraham,
Question? No questions.
okay. Trustee Jones,
Yeah, well, the attorney answered part of the question about us cleaning it up once it's condemned. I guess my question would be for Commissioner Upshaw, what would be the turnaround time? Is it immediately at the end of the 48-hour period? And for Public Works, how soon would they be activating? I mean, if in fact it's determined that it's going to be condemned, are we going to be out there immediately cleaning up the location, or what's the plan?
The plan is for us to resolve the issue immediately. I can't take 10 minutes, but as soon as we can organize and have a strategic plan, but it will definitely be within 24 hours or less.
Yeah, so I guess that would be the second part of my question is that, have yourself and Public Works come up with a strategic plan for locations that may have already been identified. Based on what I'm hearing is that it appears as though we've got a handful of locations that have been identified. I would imagine that you guys would have some kind of strategic plan, some kind of timeline on how this is going to work.
We do. Actually, we're working with the mayor's office, we're working with council, and we do have a actual couple situations right now that are in the process of being remedied within the next 48 hours or less.
Okay, but that's all I'm concerned about is just some kind of timeline on a remedy. So that, once you condemn the property, you can, tell the neighbors, hey, listen, this will be cleaned up in 2 days, 3 days, whatever.
Absolutely. It all depends on our otherwise it could be
that completes my comment, Mayor.
okay. Thank you, Trustee Jones. Trustee Miller,
I don't have any questions.
Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, you can, Madam President. Trustee Miller,
Yes.
Trustee Jones,
Yes.
Trustee Abraham,
Yes.
Trustee Senior,
Yes.
Trustee Tierney,
Yes.
Trustee Horn.
Yes.
Thank you, Board. Madam President, this carries 6-0 unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item D, an ordinance extending the duration of ordinance number CO-2020-13 for the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Second.
Second.
Been properly motioned by Trustee Tierney, seconded by Trustee Jones. Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. This ordinance is an ordinance to extend our emergency, our COVID 2020-13 for the Village, the Illinois Emergency Agency Act. So we had an ordinance where we can make immediate decisions that will go into effect ending on April 7th. Now that the governor and the president have extended those guidelines is till the end of April 30th. So this is just extending what we've already put in place in our March 16th board meeting. Trustee Horn?
No questions.
Trustee Tierney?
No questions.
Trustee Senior?
No questions.
Trustee Abraham?
No questions.
Trustee Jones?
No comment.
Trustee Miller?
No questions.
Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, you can, Madam President. Trustee Miller,
Yes.
Trustee Jones,
Yes.
Trustee Abraham,
Yes.
Trustee Senior,
Yes.
Trustee Tierney,
Yes.
Trustee Horn,
Yes.
and Madam President, this carries unanimously 6-0. Thank you all. Next item on the agenda, item 9, application for the authority to expend funds. We have one from Train US Inc. totaling $24,398, and this is from the Public Works Department.
What was it? I'm sorry, Trustee Clerk. I mean, Clerk McGrill, what was it?
This is Train US Inc. in the amount of $24,398.
Yes, that's for the village halls.
Director Ames, we need a motion and a second.
I'm sorry.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
Forgive me, ma'am.
So I heard Trustee Tierney approving, and I heard Trustee Senior second. Thank you. Madam President.
Director Ames, you want to tell us about this purchase order with Train?
I do. It's for the service agreement for the system at the village hall. So we've got 3 things that we need to maintain through the manufacturer or the installer that train the electronic system that is automated when you guys walk into the room, and all of the control units and air conductors that in essence, that those BAS controls and powers. So this service agreement, we chose to execute for a year for a few reasons. I mean, they offered it at 3 years and 5 years, but we think at least with the maintenance portion, we should be able to do that in-house with a service technician that we have on staff. But as it relates to the electronic monitoring, that's something that would probably be ongoing for a while. So that's what you're looking at, and that's what you would be agreeing to with this $25,000 PO expenditure.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Horn?
No questions, just a quick note. I don't know what's visible right now, I think on YouTube. Okay, it's been adjusted. Thanks. Making sure we were showing the right thing. No questions.
Okay, Trustee Tierney?
No comment.
Trustee Senior?
No comment.
Trustee Abraham?
No questions.
Trustee Jones?
No comment.
Trustee Miller?
Director Ames, have we identified an in-house service person that can perform the in-house work?
Of course, we've got a service technician.
Awesome.
We have one on staff down in the Public Works Department.
Okay.
We have
That's
a licensed service technician.
All right.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, you can, Madam President. Trustee Miller,
Yes.
Trustee Jones,
Aye.
Trustee Abraham,
Yes.
Trustee Senior,
Yes.
Trustee Tierney,
Yes.
and Trustee Horn.
Yes.
All right, Madam President, that also carries 6-0 unanimously.
Thank you.
Next is item 10, the village clerk. Other than stay home, save lives, and take the census, I have no other comments, which brings us to item 11, Mayor Katrina Thompson.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. First of all, I want to just thank all of the trustees that legislate with me during this COVID-19 period of time. I've spoken with the majority of them and kind of bounce ideas off of each other. So I do appreciate you guys calling and checking in on us over here at the village. I know Trustee Horn had reached out to me about some hospital beds. So Trustee Horn, I don't know how to get if anybody need a hospital bed or anything like that, just reach out to Trustee Horn via email, bhorn@broadview-il.gov. And I'm sure she can make the connection with the person that have access to these hospital beds. So thank you for that resource. Trustee Miller, she's been on the front line with me from day one, and I truly appreciate that by her being the chairwoman of the Water, Drainage, and Health. We've been going back and forth. She's been doing some diligent research. And I don't know if many of you all know, but she actually have a master's degree in public health. So she is utilizing that on behalf of the village. So we are grateful for that skill set, and thank you for just keeping us in tune and, you know, keeping me informed, because most certainly it takes a team to make these types of things work holistically. I mean, we can't do it all by ourselves. And I just want to just say thank you to our first responders in the village of Broadview, our fire, our police department, and our Ike 911 center. They have been working extremely hard during this period of time. And we just want to, you know, just lift them up in prayer and, you know, just pray for them and their families, because as they on the front lines for us, as they go into homes or maybe they doing an arrest on the street, we never know the contact that they're going to come in contact with. So just know that you have a strong team of legislators standing behind you and supporting you all during this period of time. And we will provide whatever resources we need to our first responders to make sure that they have all the tools that they need to be successful to be first responders for the village of Broadview. So with that being said, I hope and pray that you and your loved ones are well and taking all necessary steps to stay healthy. As of 5:45 this afternoon, the Cook County Public Health has reported 17 COVID-19 cases in the village of Broadview. The village of Broadview administrative offices are closed. However, we are here answering the phones for those that need to get questions answered. We do have limited hours during this time. So Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, we are here in the offices between 9 and 2, and that's the administrative offices, department, as well as the public works administrative offices. The Broadview Food Pantry and the Westchester Food Pantry, they are serving the community in the service that they do. Broadview Food Pantries hours are 5 to 7 on Tuesdays, and on Wednesdays it's from 10 to 12:30. So please consider making a donation to them, because they are servicing Broadview residents and some of our veterans as well. Just a quick reminder to support our local restaurants like Pete's or our local retailers like True Value. These small businesses make up the bulk of what America is really about. We are built on small businesses, although we have corporate brands, but we are built on small businesses. So just make sure that we patronize our small businesses for all of your essential needs right here in the village of Broadview. We have to take care of home, and we have to protect what we have here in Broadview. So if you can go out and purchase your essential goods, consider Broadview first. Also, as you can tell, we have streamed live this meeting this evening because we want to protect ourselves as well as our families that we have to go to every night. We are practicing social distancing. So as you can tell, we are in multiple rooms or at a designated location that we choose. So just continue to practice social distancing. If you're going to be out and about, only go out during to do essential shopping like grocery shopping or walking or exercising in some form. Wash your hands for 20 seconds. But most importantly, stay home and only go out for essential items. I mean, our numbers have doubled since Friday. And the best way to reduce that is by staying at home. So with that being said, we're all in this together, and we will get through all of this. And I just want to say God bless you and good night, and we'll see you all at the next village meeting in a couple of weeks. So be safe, stay home, save lives, and thank you guys for just praying for us and protecting us. And if you see a first responder, just wave at them, just let them know that you're thinking about them. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, Mayor. We'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by Trustee Jones, seconded by Trustee Abraham. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Hearing no opposition, we are hereby adjourned at 8:16 p.m. Thank you all.
Good night, everyone.